mean, we were just coming in with a whole lot of confidence after that previous week. Those big wins we got in that tie against Salisbury, and then played Gunn and really showed kind of everyone what we were capable of. Put on a good performance, good goaltending. Offense was buzzing, and Nick can follow up on that.
My most vivid memory from Gunnery was after the game when Coach Ferraris came in the locker room and was like, "From now on, I want to finish the season with a crazy record, something like
8-2.
8-2, yeah, something crazy like that, where we make people go whoa," and that is something we did from that point. So I would say Gunnery was a big win for us.
Because before the game, Coach Ferraris was like saying they must have had a good night and Salisbury must have had a bad game, like all like these like excuses. But when we came out and beat Gunn, how we beat them, that was really like the set in stone. Like we're coming to win. Like there was no easy. It's gonna be hard and win every game we can. Where that was a great win because showed everyone that we're ready to play and bring home wins.
Yeah, so coming off the Salisbury tie, it's a good game for us. We're playing well. The game at Gunn, we knew when we went in there we had to prove something. We let them get the best of us in the Avon tournament. So we went in there. We knew what we had to do. I remember Andy played great. He had a lot of great desperation saves. I think we held them down to 3-0 until the last minute of the game. They got one in. I think it was 4-0 actually. They got one. But yeah, it was a good game. We knew what we had to do. Everyone kind of grouped together, and that's when we kind of set our goals of what we wanted to do with our season.
So yeah, Gunnery game away at their barn. Not very nice rink, in my opinion. I think we actually got off to a good start. We took a lead on them. I think I scored the first goal 15 seconds in the game. It was a breakaway pass from Liam Lefebvre. And we were pretty good the whole game. We never slacked. We're good on defense. Good goaltending by our goalie Andre. Just an overall good game for us. I think the final was 5-2. Yeah, 5-2. And it was just a fun game playing. Nice win.
We had lost to Gunn in the Avon tournament, and going into their rink is not an easy place. So we prepared for that, and the guys showed up, and we had a great goaltending effort. We had a really good effort in net. It's never easy to play there. They throw a lot of pucks on net. And that was a big game by our first line. That was a good, consistent game. We got good pucks on net early, and good traffic in front of their net, and found some back doors as well.
Again, no easy holes in our schedule there. They're having a decent year. We were having a good year. Going in there is hard. It's a really small barn to play. They're really good at home usually. But I thought probably one of our most complete games in terms of just bottom to top lineup. Got spectacular goaltending, some ridiculous special teams. We were able to kill some penalties. We capitalized on our power play. Probably one of the best games I think I've seen Ludovic play in terms of his offensive output. Playing there in a smaller rink gives him sort of a little bit more flexibility to get up and down the sheet. I remember he had an unbelievable play move in front where he slipped it backdoor. Probably one of the nicest plays I've seen in prep in a long, long time. So just an overall team effort where guys were buying in. Sam Marchand had a big goal late. I know, for him that was really important. But, what that did for the team and the momentum and the excitement that they sort of felt after he scored was just, I knew when he scored that we were going to be able to hang on and win because guys rallied around him, and he's been an unbelievable teammate and player for us this year, but just sort of struggled to find the back of the net. But when that slipped through, you knew we were going to be able to hang on, and we did. And just sort of that helped us, again, get the ball rolling and keep it rolling, and just that was a really gritty win. They're tough. They're mean, right? They're physical, and sort of we were able to stand there and go toe to toe with them, and obviously walk out of there with a win.
Yeah, win at Choate win here against Choate was a good game. Like I said, we were kind of moving now. Had some momentum in the last couple of games, big wins for us, kind of giving us what we needed to think and feel about our team to keep moving and got some momentum. Choate was a good game. I think Liam started off with a sick goal off the post. Miggs had one nice. I remember that game was a wide range of guys collecting points that night, so it was good to see that, as always. It was a good game.
Yeah, they had it going, Choate. So we took them serious. I mean, when we saw them earlier in the year at the Jamboree, the Founders Showcase, they were a good team that had just played a game immediately before us, so they were a little bit tired. They have a good team, and we knew that their goalie, who's young, was going to be very good as well. We just played a very solid home game. We went out to a good lead there, hung on to it a bit. They came back. It was a good win, and we were really starting to, at that point, I think, find confidence in our scoring, and that helped a lot against Choate. To go from a Gunn road win and then come home, you could maybe sometimes have a letdown. As a coach, we had to be careful of that. We kept the mood light, we kept it upbeat. We knew what we needed to do, and we played the right way. So it was a good home win for us.
6-3 win against Choate. We played them in preseason and we beat them, but we knew that they were going to be coming at us harder this time because it's regular season. And we played pretty good, home game, day game, I believe. So we knew what to expect from them. They were solid. I think I had a goal that game, maybe an assist to Burke too, I think. But it was just an overall, good played game by us to pull away 6-3. But yeah, solid game for us.
That was a big win. Choate, we thought they were going to come out a little better than we thought, but we kept the foot down the whole game, beat them 6-2, so that was a great win. Another good hyped win where we were on a roll. Like we didn't have losing in our mind, we had only winning, so that's how we were rolling the whole season. Where that game definitely gave us another step up to basically get it to another level.
Yeah, Choate's, an interesting team. They keep coming. They have a lot of key pieces in place. Again, they came here expecting to win, and they sort of hung with it, right? It was a back and forth game. I don't think we ever felt in the clear. I don't know if that's a game where the score doesn't necessarily reflect how the outcome of the game went. I think it was a little bit of back and forth where we got a little bit of a cushion of the lead, and then sort of they clawed their way back. There's a couple of backdoor goals that that sort of shouldn't have happened. Sort of it was a lapse in our defensive coverage, and they sort of stayed in there, and then Andrew McGlory had a great game that day. Guys just sort of found the way to get it done. Again, another exceptional goaltending, game by Matusik. A game where you need to win in terms of the overall standings. Those are important. You got to be able to beat the teams that are below you a little bit, and Choate had some big wins, and they're sort of right on our heels there. So being able to get that win at home was really important for us to sort of keep our momentum going through the season.
Yeah, so Taft was definitely my favorite game of the season, probably my best game. So First shift, our line, me, Reynolds, and Blaze, we get out there. I get the puck going up on the wall. I'm able to beat the defender wide, cut around the net. I pass it to Nicoletta in the slot, and I think Nicoletta takes a shot. It bounces off Blaze and trickles in, and that was our first goal. That was pretty big. Then our second goal, I'm able to get the puck. I'm able to beat the defender wide. We're coming down. It's a 2-on-1 with me and Reynolds, and I'm able to pass it to Reynolds, who slides a 5-hole. And then I think the third goal, Blaze got it. It was, I think, assist to Reynolds again. Reynolds had 2 points that game. And yeah, I think that's probably the best game as our line. We were clicking, doing little things right, and that just kind of set the tone for the whole game. We held Taft scoreless. They were like one of the best teams. So it's probably one of my favorite games this season. And I think kind of showed who we are as Trinity-Pawling, like how good we can be.
The Taft was a sick game. I remember right before the game, Coach told us that Taft hasn't lost in their own rink yet. So right when he said that, the boys kind of knew what we wanted to do to them. It was a good game, physical. I remember our line specifically didn't get a single goal that game. I remember they did a good job of shutting us down, but team sport, and the whole team stepped up to the game there. Everyone played great and got it done.
Yeah, and Andy Blaze, he went right to the net front in his first shift, and caused enough traffic for a tip, and that got us off to a good start. And I think it made their goaltender, who's a good goalie, uncomfortable. That's what you want to do. And so he listened to direction, Andy, and went to the net. And then Frito and Reynolds and those guys really picked it up in that game, and they were starting to come when. So I remember specifically a couple of the guys that normally carried us were struggling a bit in that game, and then of course going into Taft is never easy. They're really good this year. We took care of the puck, and then in our own end, I think Matusik, he had his first shutout of the season and stopped like 38 or 39. So that's a big game all around. Showed our great depth that we were starting to build as a team.
Yeah, Taft away. First game out of point. What are you gonna do? Stuff happens. As we got the win, that was the most important thing. 3-0. So Brady Reynolds, very good hockey player. He's an 08 out of Berlin, Connecticut. He's just a good player. He's got really good IQ, pretty good shot. And I believe David Ferdinand also played very good that game. He gave him an assist. They played really good. Nicoletta played good that game. I think Andy Blaze scored a goal. It was other lines stepped up. They showed us that they were better than us that game. And they played really well, and they stepped it up for our team. And, nice little 3-0 win at Taft. That was the first time we played them. So it was really nice to get a win in their rink. So, I think later in the year we beat them at home, but to beat them in their rink, that was pretty good. So
yeah, that was another great win by us. We came out. We were a little nervous in the locker room, didn't know really how it was gonna go. We were also winning a lot of games, so we had a good mindset, but we were nervous to go out. But we came out first shift, first line goes out. They generate the tempo, they get us going. And the second pair, second line forwards come out, and puck pops out. Frito takes it around the wall, hits me high, and I shoot it, and it hits off Blazer's stick into the net, and that's how the tempo started. Where we kept the tempo that first line started, and made it even better. Where we were rolling after that, they couldn't even get in our zone. If they would get in our zone, it was out in 2 minutes or 2 seconds. Sorry, where it was the tempo that we made from the start. That's what we needed to win. So we brought that from the first period to the third period, where made us we were so competitive, and they couldn't even hang with us.